And gone. Okay, and bidding everyone a good evening as we go into the Sunday school lesson for the fourth Sunday of this month of February, February 22nd. The topic of the lesson, the unifying topic, is Isaiah answers God's call. You got the adult topic? A commitment to change.
Yeah, and the music says a sacrifice for going deeper.
A sacrifice for going deeper.
Sacrifices for going deeper.
Okay, sacrifices for going deeper. And again, the lesson is coming to us from the 6th chapter of Isaiah, verses 1 through 8. There are three areas that I want to explore the lesson in. First, the vision of God in verses 1 through 4. Secondly, confession and cleansing in verses 5 through 7. And verse 8 is going to stand alone, as verse 8 will be the call and acceptance. Okay. Beginning with the first 4 verses, and I'll be reading from the New Living Translation. It was in the year King Uzziah died that I saw the Lord. He was sitting on a lofty throne, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Attending him were mighty seraphim, each having 6 wings. With 2 wings they covered their faces, with 2 wings they covered their feet, and with 2 wings they flew. And they were calling out to each other, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of heaven's armies. The whole earth is filled with his glory." Their voices shook the temple to its foundations, and the entire building was filled with smoke. The vision. And I think it's kind of interesting that, first of all, the writer of Isaiah takes the time to note the timing of the vision, that it takes place the same year that King Uzziah dies. Now, with King Uzziah, he was a king of the southern kingdom of Judah, and we can find out some more information about Uzziah in the book of 2 Chronicles, the 26th chapter, roughly verses 4 through 16. And in these verses, we're going to find that Uzziah was a king that began to do right in the sight of the Lord. But somewhere in the midst of his reign, he began to I would say began to get a little bit arrogant. You know how people start taking on roles that they shouldn't? Well, a king was never to go into the temple to offer certain sacrifices. That was the task of the priest. And it just so happened that he had gone into the temple to burn incense on the altar of incense. And it was for that breach that the Lord had given Uzziah a case of leprosy, and he remained a leper until death. But the death of Uzziah, I guess we can say that it's not unusual for God to speak to us in times where someone is passed on. And it had been recorded that Isaiah was a prophet advisor to King Uzziah, much the same way that Nathan was a prophet advisor to David. So we have Isaiah now no longer having this king to advise, even as a leper, even as an outcast. There's a shift of leadership. There's a shift of, okay, and now I've been a prophet advisor to this man for all these years. Now this man is gone. What do I do? So we can say that as Isaiah is going to the temple of the Lord, that there is a seeking, that there is a period where Isaiah is wanting to know which direction to go. And usually when we lose people that are important to us, people that have been influential to us, we will, and I mean, even if we seek the Lord on a regular basis, on a loss like that, we will have an extra thought in our heads. We'll have that extra burden in our hearts that we, God, I want some answers. God, what do you want me to do now? I've been in this role for so many years. Now all of a sudden the role is being changed. Where do I go from here? What direction do I take from here? Okay, Deacon, if you